Hi everybody, thanks for joining me today. Hope you are having a great day. I was going to paint a watercolour in Rebelle, and this is actual watercolour, and it was all about these distant hills. It was going to be a quick demo on how to just paint in those distant hills. And I got a little bit carried away and went on a journey just experimenting. So let's just enjoy the video. Right, here we are in Rebelle, and I am going to do a watercolour of this scene. This was a photo taken by my daughter Fran when she was in Australia, and I thought it would make quite a cool watercolour because it's all about these distant hills, getting those in. And let's just see what we can come up with. I just want to shrink that down, obviously, because it's kind of taking up a lot of space. And I'll just move it out the way up there. I've got a separate image that I can use for my reference on a different screen. And I'm just going to start quickly sketching in. I'm doing it with quite a heavy pencil so you can see it. Normally, I would not be using something quite this heavy. I've got this sort of tree line there. Like that. Then we've got this hill that sort of comes along there like that. And then one more that sort of fades off into the distance like that. Then we've got these bushes in the foreground. And I'm just wondering whether it might be nice to mask these in. I don't know. Should I mask them? That is the question. Here we've got this tree. I'm still contemplating what's going through my mind as I'm sketching is, am I going to use masking fluid or am I not? We'll see. I still don't know. I've got this kind of bush here, and this all sort of mingles in like that. And then rocks then. I don't know how I'm going to paint these just yet. Quite dominating, I suppose. These are doing these rocks. So you saw the video I did the other day. It's all going to be about shadow, really. I'm going to paint them in. I'm thinking. And one here. Kind of like that. Bit of a shape. It's sketching in where I'm going to put my darks and lights, really, is what's going off there. So that's the sketch done. Can I lock that layer? I'm sure I can if I can remember how to do it. Let's create a new layer first. There we go. Lock it. So that's my sketch locked. Let's see if I can manage not to paint on that. So what I would normally do with this is get in the sky first and maybe even some local colour over the whole of the thing, so we haven't got any white paper. So I'm going to choose a watercolour brush. I want a mop. I'm thinking a nice big mop. I want a huge size, big as I can get. I want a blue, sort of ultramarine or cobalt. Cobalt, I'm thinking. Cobalt blue. I've got the paint running down quite severely. I'm just going to take that up a little bit. I don't want it running too much. I'm assuming all these brushes are set at the default settings because I've only just opened the program. I'm going to put a little bit of yellow there and then a bit of orange. I've got this sort of nice, I guess it's hazy sunset feel to it. Then back to my cobalt colour. Just letting these colours all blend together. So all good. And then a little bit of yellow, like a lemon yellow colour. We could probably put a little bit of sienna in that as well. And then I want a cool colour for these rocks. There. And I'll come in with some warmer colours as well. Maybe let's put a warmer colour here, just there like that. A little bit on there. And the cool colour, smaller brush. Just going in between there a little bit. More blue, bit purple. That was a little bit more towards the burnt sienna. Ultramarine blue, sorry. There. So I've got my initial washes on. Maybe just fill in that little bit of a gap there. That's it. So I can now forget this layer and start. In fact, I just want to see what I've got. What's going off up here? I've got some white paper there. I'll just put a little bit of colour in there. Yeah, that's it. That's happy. I'm happy enough with that. Right, that is the initial washes in. What I'm going to do now is lock that layer, create a new layer, change my brush from mop to liner. Let's choose a colour. I don't want it too dark. And then I'm just going to paint in the top of this first hill, or the most distant hill, I suppose. Like that. Don't really want runs like that, but that's okay because I've got the blender. I'm now going to choose the blender and just soften that off. This isn't a painting where I want lots of runs, so maybe I should just sort of take that tilt off and I'll just rub that out. There we go, and then just soften it in. Nice and easy. And I'm also going to break up maybe need to do this with the eraser. I just sort of soften that a little bit on the top edges and blend them back in like that. Just kind of break up that a little bit. Just give it a bit more distance. There we are. So that's the first one in. Lock that layer, create another layer, because I'm going to do a different layer for every single hill I do. I'm just strengthening the colour a little bit. I'm pushing it towards the green. Back to my liner. Yeah. This one sort of comes. That's a bit too dark, I think. Let's just undo that. Bit too dark. Maybe there. That's better. And it won't flow into that because I'm on a new layer. So that way I can keep nice sharp edges where I want and soft edges in other places. Get that blending brush again and just blend that like that. I'm just wondering if I should change the blend mode so it doesn't look so opaque. Oh, I could knock the opacity back. Yeah, I'm going to do it that way. I'm going to just take the opacity back so you can see the other colours just glowing through a little bit. Oh, I want that to come up there a bit more now. Put that back in. Get the blender. Just sort of take that away. Like that. And soften that. I'll do that. Take some of that with the eraser first because I don't want it too dark. I'm going to lift that tree out as well. Like that, look. And then blend out. So that's the next one done. I'll just take that out. Lock that layer, create another layer. So you can see it's a fast way of painting. Just strengthen up the colour a bit more towards the green each time. It's like the same brush. Let it do its own thing. Maybe just start adding. Oh, that's too much. Oh no, it's flowing out quite nice. Just the hint of warmer colours in there. Then get your blender again. Do exactly the same again. This is a kind of a classic watercolour technique, really. I'd be sort of wetting that way with brushes. With wet, I'd be putting wet water. Oh my god, did I say wet water? With a brush loaded with water, I'd be softening. While I'm using this blender now, I'd be softening that with water and then just lifting the wet off with a damp tissue. So let's just get that in again. It's looking all right, I think. Let's create a new layer. And we want to go darker still with this one. So, let's go kind of there. I wonder if we should come way over here. No, I'll stick to that kind of palette. Choose my brush. I'm going to make it a bit smaller because this one, I'm on a new layer, aren't I? I didn't lock that layer. Let's lock that so I don't paint on it by mistake. I want to kind of just flick in the tops of some trees. Just to get the thing going a bit, and then I can I can make the brush a bit bigger then. It's a bit of don't know if that's a bit too light. And get that blender. Where's it gone? There we are. Probably make it a bit bigger actually for this. I'm going to get the brush and splotch in a bit more colour. Hopefully that's going to kind of bleed in, yeah, nicely. Got a nice sort of wet edge creeping up there. I quite like that. Now what I want to do is I'm going to select the eraser. I'm wondering, actually, I might be better working with a sponge. Is that gonna? No, it just takes the water out. No, I do need an eraser. I want something a bit harder than that. You see what I'm doing? I'm putting in this foreground bush by lifting out colour. So I could have done this with masking fluid, I suppose. Probably would have been Maybe a better way, I don't know. But that's working all right. I think so anyway. I'm liking it. I'd have probably got a much cleaner edge if I'd have used masking fluid. And you can totally do this in watercolour, you know. You can paint in with a rigger brush and just some water, and then just dab a sponge on it and lift that colour out, and it will work like that. There we are. I think that'll do for that layer. Yeah, let's lock that. Create another layer. And I'm coming in with this yellowy colour now. Yellow, lime green, quite vibrant. What have I got? A liner, yeah, that will do. I'm wondering, actually, you know, if I should, would it be cheating, do you think, to put this layer under that layer, and then I can do that? It's not, is it? It's not cheating, really. Might be a little bit. And I'm going to just change up these colours a little bit as I'm going. And then let's go for something darker. Maybe like that. Hopefully they're all going to bleed up into that. Just there. I'd like to see these blended a bit more, but I'm not so sure. I'm not convinced that this is the best. Best brush. What would happen if I added a little bit of water? Let's get a bit radical. This could totally mess it up, and then I'll have to do it again. But if it does, it does. It's all about experimenting, isn't it? See, I've lost that nice colour, vibrant colour there. I need to get that back. Can I? It's getting a bit messy. I'm going to delete this layer, and I'm not going to edit that out. I'm going to keep it in, so you can see that, you know, sometimes don't keep going with it if you think you've gone over the top. Abandon it straight away. Try something else. I'm going to get the paint to flow down, I think. I think that's the secret here. You see, when you erase it, you don't get that nice sharp edge again, where the paint... Oh yes, you do. You do. I don't particularly want these runs, but I want the paint to look like it's flowing, which it is now on the actual tree bit. And then I'm going to have to just sort of take some of that out as well. I overdid the I don't know if you can see it on the video. There's a green bleed on that underpainting. Let's just get that out. You can see it here, look, there. Oh, it's got to go a bit. Just too much. You don't have to be too fussy. In fact, I like to see a little bit of those whites or lighter colours just creeping in. Is that looking good? Yeah, I think it is. I'm just gonna... That's it. Back to my brush, bit smaller size. Bring that in there, down here. And then just use the blender just to take this away. This is great. I like the blender for softening off an edge, but I don't like to blend two colours with it. It doesn't look very natural. Well, that's looking all right, I think. I'm just wondering if I need to pop just a brush full of green in and let that just flow. Just to tie in without the colour in the hills, really. Yeah. That's it. Now, have a new layer. Let's lock that one. Let's go back on the top. So I'm working on the top again now. What have we got here? So what colour shall I use? This sort of bluey colour. Notice how we've got much stronger colours in the foreground, and that all helps throw distant colours further back. In fact, looking at this, I think it's that one. I want to take the opacity down a bit. That's it. And maybe on that one as well. Just a little bit. Yep. Go back to the top layer again. And I am going to be mixing, letting these colours bleed into one another. I like that light there. I'm going to keep that, I think. Got too much drip on this. Yeah, let them bleed together a little bit. That's interesting what's happening now. I'm just going to let it go with the flow. In fact, I'm going to dry it actually. Don't need to go too much. Right, let's get these trees in. That could be interesting. Crikey, how often do I do a painting with 9 layers? It's mad. Let's go to... Oh, I've got the liner brush. I don't know why I've got so many different... I'm wondering if I've created all of these different liner brushes when I've been making my own brushes. Fairly dark colour for this. Get branches in. It takes a while to sort of get back into the mindset, I suppose, of painting watercolor shapes as opposed to oil brushes or any other kind of brush, really. And this all looks a bit messy now, so what? It's supposed to be the eraser. I want to take that out and put it back in. I'm not happy with that bit. This bit I like. Just took me a little while to just get into that feel of painting with watercolor and not another medium, whether it be pastel or whatever. It's better. you've got to be really kind of quick, not quick, but bold with those strokes, I think. Painting into that wet colour that I've got there. I hope it's all going to bleed together. Yeah, there we go. Let's go back to that colour. Wash there. So with a big brush. Maybe the mop brush might be cool here. I just want to that's it. Back to my liner. Nice and thin, dark colour. That should hopefully flow into that and start to soften and blur. Whoops, made a little bit of a mistake there. Let's put some big colour in there and maybe just there. Bring that together a bit more here. Got our blender. This is the fun bit. I'm enjoying this. Just sort of smudging things together. Let's have another layer. I don't think you can have enough layers with watercolour. Oh, didn't mean to do that. That's what I meant to do. Hang on, where are we going? Yeah, I think that I need to sort of pick this colour up. Just put a brush full of it, or two. There. That's it. Maybe on the wrong layer, but never mind. Because I want to put some more. Oh, a little bit on the thick side, that brush. Yeah, I'm gonna have to create a new layer to do this again because I put some colour in that other one, and then hopefully that won't flow out. I don't want it to flow out too much. It can a little bit, but not a crazy amount. Yeah, I want much less water. That's it. That's what I'm after. Put a little bit of brown in there, and that will lead away. I think that's pretty cool. I wonder if I can get a few little branches and twigs in these trees here. That's cool. And then just some shapes on the rocks, really. I think just a few, I guess, cracks and things. Get that blender. I wonder what layer that's on. Oh, that's locked, so I need to unlock that. Ah, there we are. Maybe that a bit as well, just there. That's cool. Back to my top layer again. Whoops. I'm just painting or sculpting shapes and then just softening off one edge to give that sort of rocky look. And I'm hoping it's working. I think it is. Sort of like that. Do this one. Probably a bit warmer colour. Not quite so pink as that. Then a bit of blue down here. Get that blender. Just adding little bits to those rocks. Okay, new layer. 12 layers. Wow. Never before. I'm almost gone back into sort of a drawing mode. Just to sculpt out these rocks a bit. I'm very quiet because I'm sort of concentrating. Softening edges, look. Just makes these rocks look a little bit more. They've got a bit more form. Go. Check that out. I think it needs a bit more down this bottom side. Maybe even losing it there, look. Just soften that away. We could even have, you know, like this, the green. I know it's sort of bathed in warm light, but it might be nice to have a little bit of the green, possibly. Just sort of casting a shadow. Not a shadow, like a tone. Better if I pick the brush, wouldn't it? Let's just go on that layer underneath. Maybe do it with a mop. That's it. Just an hint of green on those rocks. Maybe I need to where's he gone? Choose that colour. Just where we've got these highlights, a little bit of green on there. Yeah, that's it. And back to that top layer. I think I'll make one more layer because I just want to do a little bit more sort of fine pencil work. Well, fine brushwork, I should say. Whoops. Do I sort of go like that, and then join that up there like that? I don't know. Maybe not. maybe not. But I could do sort of one like that, I think. That's better. Yeah. I'm wondering if I should use like the splatter brush as well. Might be fun. I'm going to leave this one with very little information on it. Let's try. Have we got splatter, some sort of brush that splat? Yeah. Let's just, might give us some sort of nice texture. Needs to be big though. Yeah. On those rocks there, like that lot. On this foreground. There we go. That was interesting. How much splatter is too much? I think we're pretty good. We're good to go there. If I use a white paint on a liner with lots of paint and not much water, is it going to work like gouache? It is, so I can come in now, just pop in a few rim lights. These rocks. Well, this painting was really, it was going to be a quick demo on how to put in these sort of distant hills, and it's kind of developed into something else entirely. But there you go, that's what it's all about, I suppose. You just let go with the flow, let the painting take you. I could, I'm so tempted now. I can see lots of ways I can improve this with this sort of thick paint, just by adding like a little tree in there, maybe. Perhaps not quite that thick. Let's thin it down a bit. Better. Add in a few more. Again, too thick. This has kind of gone from a watercolour to an illustration, I think. I'm okay with that though. I'm okay with that. I think that is it. I'm going to sign this. There we go. I hope you've enjoyed this video. It's a bit of a long one. Painted in Rebelle, watercolour demonstration. I have to do distant hills, and then I got sort of carried away, popping in all sorts of things, which I'm still doing now. Look. And a fun painting. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, big thumbs up as always, much appreciated. And if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. I have lots of videos like this, and I would love to be sharing them with you. So hopefully I will see you all in the next one. Take care everybody, stay safe, stay sane, and keep painting. Bye.